Hey, what's up? My name is Activator and I'm a Twitch streamer over at twitch.tv/Activator, and today I'm going to show you guys how to install your brand new Move Graph alert. I'm also going to show you guys how to install using StreamElements. Now, everything you're about to learn here today can be applied to all the alert packs coming in for Move Graph, so let's jump right on in and show you guys exactly how to get everything installed perfectly. So today we are checking out the Blast Alert Pack, and that's coming in from Move Graph, which offers a wide variety of overlays and graphics to really boost your stream. Now these alerts come in a wide variety of colors, so make sure to choose the best one that suits your needs. Now, when you first download your brand new alert, it's gonna come in a zip file, and you're gonna wanna just extract that by right-clicking and hitting extract all. Now that's gonna create a file right up here, and you can see that right there. So we have our brand new folder right here, which contains everything we're gonna need to get this alert set up and looking mighty nice. Now, if we open up this folder, you can see exactly what we're gonna get inside of this pack. And if I double click on this, you're gonna see we get a bunch of video files as well as an audio file and an explanation file. Now, if you open up an alert, it might look a little weird, but I assure you, once we get it set up inside of StreamElements and then inside of OBS, it's gonna be looking perfect. Also inside of your folder, you're gonna get a soundbite, and that's the little audio that plays with the alert. And if I double click on that, you're gonna hear exactly what this alert's gonna sound like, and we're gonna apply that to our alert. Lastly, inside of our folder, we have an explanation file, and that file is gonna tell us exactly how to set the alerts up perfectly with text animation delays and everything you're gonna need to make this looking smooth. So let's jump right on into StreamElements and show you guys exactly how to get this installed real quick. So when you first get to StreamElements, you're gonna need to log in using your Twitch account. And if I click on Twitch, it's gonna ask for authorization, and you just hit authorize, and now everything's gonna be set up, and now you can really start getting your alerts ready to go. If you come over here to the top left of your screen and click on the alerts and overlays, and then my overlays, this is where you can start to create your overlays for your Twitch stream. Now, all you gotta do is come down here and hit create new overlay, and that's gonna begin the process of setting up your overlay. Now you have a bunch of options here, choosing your resolution. I'm gonna go with 1080p. And so once I hit start, now we are ready to start setting up our brand new alert, and it's gonna give you even a guide to really walk you through it for your first time. First things first, I wanna name my overlay. So on the top left, I'm gonna call this Move Graph Blast Alert. So next, you're gonna need to install a thing called an alert box. If you come over here to add a widget, and you come down to alerts, and then alert box, that's what you're gonna need to get these alerts installed. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. And you're gonna see we had a bunch of different options here on the left-hand side. You have followers, subs, tips, cheers, hosts, raids, and purchase alerts. But before I actually get started here, I'm gonna come down to the position and size of this alert. And if I come down here, you can see this is actually the size of our image and how big our alert is gonna be on screen. All you gotta do is type in 1920 by 1080, and now your alert is gonna be the size of your canvas, but it's not really in the exact placement here. So we gotta make sure that this top pixel is at 0 and our left pixel is at 0, and that's gonna really fine tune where the alert box is sitting invisibly on your canvas here. Now, if you accidentally move it and it's looking a little off here, you can always hit center widget, and when you do that, it automatically brings it back to 0 by 0, which means it's always gonna be perfectly within that 1920 by 1080 frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this, and we're gonna go back into our layers. And when I click on settings, you're gonna see here's back all the alerts that we have. And so for this demonstration, I'm just gonna install the follower alert. So I'm gonna come over here and click the little settings icon, and that's gonna open up the next page, in which that's where we install our alert. So to get this alert set up real fast, you just gotta come up here to the top left and click on change video. And this is gonna be where we install our alerts. Now you got two ways to do this. You can double click on the main screen, and then from there you can go ahead and grab your files and select each one and hit open, or you can open up your original folder file and simply come over here and drag your alerts in. So I'm gonna look for the follower alert, which is right here, and I'm just gonna drag that on over. And when I let go, you can see it already uploads, and just like that, it's installed. I'm gonna go ahead and hit submit, because that's gonna be how you select your alert. So I hit submit, and now you can see on the top left here, it's actually already applied. Next, we're gonna need to upload our audio. And just as before, we're gonna alt tab over here and grab our alert audio and drag that in, let go, and it's gonna upload it just like that. And you can always preview it by hitting the little play button. Now you know that's working, sounds pretty good. I'm gonna hit submit. So now that we have our sound installed, we have all these other settings down here, but how do you set them up? Well, it's a good thing they gave you that JPEG earlier inside of your folder. So if I open up that JPEG and go ahead and minimize this, you're gonna actually know exactly how to set this whole thing up. So you can see that the sound volume is at 22%, alert duration 9 seconds. The alert text delay pops up at 1 second, and you'll see why in a moment. And the font size, you have everything down here. You have geo, font size 70 pixels, font weight 800, and you got the text color and the highlight text color. we're going to move this off to the side of the screen here, but we're going to utilize that to set this up. Just like in that photo, I'm going to go ahead and set the alert duration to 9 seconds. I can hit this little arrow key, or I can double click and just type 9. Now, the next step is to set up our text. Now, if we come over here to the text settings on the bottom left and you click on that, you're gonna get a bunch of options here as well. Now, you have the size, the font, the line height, the letter spacing, and all these options here to really customize the way that your stream looks. If you remember our image, we actually have a font size of 70. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this to 70. Now, our font type was Geo, so I'm gonna go ahead and click up here and type in Geo, or I can simply scroll down to it. And once I find Geo, I'm gonna click on that. Now, when you change your font, it might end up showing some different numbers here, but don't worry about that. You can always type in hashtag 8E, 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 because that's what's in our image file. If I come back to here, you can see it's 8E, 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 and that gives us the color gray. So we have that set up perfectly, and you can actually see it then changes over to 142, 142, to 142, and that's the actual color. So don't be too concerned there, but you can always type it in. For our text highlight color, they actually had that set to white. And so I'm gonna come down here and you can see it's set to blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this, and instead of actually typing it in, I'm just gonna drag my cursor to the top left, and that's gonna choose pure white. And so we're set to pure white. So now let's actually test our follower alert and see where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead and click on emulate, come up here to follower event and click it. You can see that's looking pretty good, but the text comes in a little bit too early and it's not really where we want it to be placed. So if you minimize the text settings and you come back over here to layout, you can actually choose to have the text overlaid on top of the image. So I'm gonna go ahead and select text over image. Well, let's go ahead and test our alert now that we have this set to overlay on top of our image. And if I come down here to emulate and then follower event, you can see just like that, the text pops up and everything's looking mighty nice. Now going back to our image, you actually want the text to delay by 1 second. You don't want the text to pop up and then the alert. You want the alert to pop up when the text pops up as well. So we're gonna come down to our animation settings. And if you click on that, you're actually gonna see a text appearance delay and it's set to 0 seconds by default. So we're gonna go ahead and up this to 1 second. Now that we're at 1 second, let's go ahead and test it yet again. Emulate follower event. And just like that, you can see that the name pops up exactly when the blast comes on through to reveal the name. So going back over to our image, you can actually see that they had their volume set to 22%. So lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and change this down to 22% by coming up here to the volume and sliding this down to 22%. And that's gonna make it a little bit quieter. So one more time, emulate, follower event. And maybe now it's a little bit more subtle and it won't overpower my voice. I'm liking how this is looking and I actually want to bring it on into OBS. So first things first, you just click on save on the top right. And when you do that, you can see on the bottom, it says saved. And now we can exit out. So if you click on the arrow to back to overlays, now you can see we have our brand new alert right here. And to get that into OBS, if you click on these little 3 dots right here, you can actually copy the URL. Now you're gonna need to do that. So we're gonna copy the URL. And now we're gonna open up OBS. Now that we have an instance of OBS open, we need to install our alert into OBS as well. So to do that, we need to add a browser source. So if you come over here and right click on your source list and then go to add and then click on browser source, or you can come down here to the plus symbol, click plus, hit browser, and then type in a new name for your alert. So we're gonna call this Move Graph Blast Alerts. So that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. And now we have our place in which we are going to place our URL that we copied earlier. So one, you can highlight all this text, delete it, and right click and go paste. Or you can come back here and hit Control V and that'll also paste. So now that we have our alert box pasted in here, I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. And now you can see we have this box right here, but how can we tell if it's working correctly? Well, we're gonna go back into the animation settings inside of StreamElements. So let's open back up StreamElements. Now to test this out, I'm gonna go ahead and hit on edit. And then on the far right, you're gonna see a little volume thing. And that's just gonna be so you can mute this volume that actually plays inside the editor so you don't hear it twice. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this little audio mute button. And then we're gonna slide this on over, shrink it down, and move it right on over here. Again, we're gonna come down to emulate, come up to follower event. And you can see just like that, it's installed, but it's not looking quite right. So to fix our alert, you need to come back to our browser source. A couple ways to get back to the settings. You can either right click and go to properties. You can double click on it, or you can come over here to the little properties icon and just click properties. Now we're gonna need to set that to 1920 by 1080 because that is our stream's resolution as well as our alerts resolution. So I'm gonna come over here and type in 1920 and hit tab by 1080, or you could also click in there and type in 1080. And then I'm gonna hit OK. Now you can see it's taking up more screen real estate. I'm gonna drag it perfectly to the top left there. And now if we go back to the emulate and follower event, you can see just like that, the alert comes in, the sound pops off, and it's looking mighty nice, but maybe it's not actually in the placement that I would want. So we're gonna hit emulate one more time, and then we're gonna move it. So I'm gonna hit follower event, and now I'm gonna move this maybe over here to the top left, so maybe it looks like it's shooting the name out of my overlay, and it's looking pretty good right now. So before we test it one more time, I'm actually gonna lock it in, and that's gonna make it so I can't move the alert anymore, no matter how many times I click on my screen. So we're gonna come back over here to emulate, follower event, and just like that, it's looking perfect, and now my stream looks nice, and my quality is boosted that much further. Now, this will work for all your alerts. You just need to make sure if you go back into your alert box and go to settings, just make sure to install all your different alerts for each individual item that you want represented in your streams. Once you're done, again, you just gotta hit save and everything's fine. So if you're not liking something, you can always come back in here and change it manually and then hit save again, and it'll update right then and there. So just one more last time here, I'm gonna hit emulate the alert. Emulate, follower event. That's looking pretty nice. So now I'm ready to go stream and show off to all my new followers my brand new alert. So this video taught you guys how to install, set up, manage, and get everything perfectly working with your brand new alert. And it taught you how to install it into OBS. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and comment down below or drop your Twitch channel down there so we can come in and take a look at your brand new alert in action. Check out MoveGraph for more alerts, graphics, and overlays to really boost your stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy streaming, enjoy your new alert, and I'll catch you on the next video. All right, bye.